extreme. Hi, everyone. It's Nicole. I'm on Positive Impact for Mind and Body. And I thought I would do things a little bit differently today because I'm trying to multitask, but I'm also trying to tell you a story and get my workout in. So this is my studio slash, you've seen me in front of these pictures of words before in the past, but it is also home to, I don't know if you can see it back there, my treadmill, a couple of high chairs for interviews, my desk. I'm a professional personal trainer, and this is my InBody machine. So you get to take a look around. I've also been drawing nudes forever. So you get to take a look around there. And I paint. But today I'm going to be hopping on my elliptical while I tell you a funny story. Because I'm sure we've all been in this position of trying to, oops, I forgot to plug this in, trying to explain to someone something about, you know, your business is kind of intriguing. One of the things that I find very intriguing is how people perceive what you're saying. So I had a very funny conversation with my son a year ago, I want to say. And in that time, I had thought to myself, oh, I have to be very careful of this point because I don't want to make this mistake again. My son asked me one day, Mom, what do the letters AMA mean to you? And I said, active metabolic assessment. And he said, not the American Medical Association? I said, no. And then he said, Mom, what about RPE? I said, oh, that, of course, that's rate of perceived exertion. And he said, no, it's revenue per employee. And it just occurred to me that, you know, the way we perceive each other or our words or what we're doing is so very unique and customized to our culture, our employment, our hobbies, whatever they may be. So I have to be very careful about how I go about describing things. So for instance, recently, when I started talking to a few people about my Be a Body Psychic workshop, I said, you know, we use a body scan. And it was more of a generalized audience. Okay, so there were people from Nova Scotia, from California, from, you know, Wisconsin and Europe, and and someone, you know, I was talking about the body scan as though everyone knew about it. And quite honestly, this one woman said, I've never heard of that word before. What's a body scan? And my first gut reaction was like, wow, you don't know what a body scan, like what rock did you crawl out from under? Which was really wrong. And I'm unmuted, sorry, I had to fix that. So anyway, I realized I had to put things in a different context. And when I did that, it opened up a whole world of things I realized I've been talking about as though everyone knew about them. And I really needed to explain it better. I needed to, you know, explain where I came from before this moment. So for all of you who don't know what a body scan out there is, and I think Positive Impact is pretty forward thinking, but you never know. So body scans in the past have been used to help relax people. Sometimes it's a visualization, sometimes, like I call it, a sensation meditation, where you're just sensing different parts of your body and whether or not they have a lot of tension, or maybe you're not holding tension there, but you just notice that it's a little hot in a certain area. It just helps you tune in and hone in on things that are making you feel tense in your physical body. It also helps kind of raise your awareness about how to relax. ways that you can relax and deep breathing methods. It's really raising awareness, right? So I guess the biggest difference between my body scan and the body scan that anyone else might use for relaxation purposes, or just to feel like they have a little more control over their, I don't want to say body, but control over their body's reactions to things. The biggest difference is that I use it as a visualization. So my body scan, you go in and I lead you through a very deep relaxation technique, one body part at a time. And those of you who've been watching for a while, you know how I do that, right? You know the visualizations I do. So I lead you through the visualization. And then after the visualization of the body relaxation piece of it, then we go in power center by power center. This is the other thing I didn't realize no one knew. So, okay, and I gotta remind myself, I'm a Reiki master, I'm a psychic. I've been taking occult classes since I was 16. So yes, it is, an area that I'm very familiar with, but not many people are. So power centers within the body are basically the chakra system. If you're not sure what the chakra system is, it's energy centers within the body that correlate with specific nerve plexus up and down your spine. So when I was 16, I was giving these psychic readings and I was seeing these colors in specific concentrated areas of the body. And I didn't know what they were until I had decided I wanted to learn meditation at a local ashram. And I was going there, but at the same time I bought, now, I don't know if you guys remember this author, I bought Wheels of Light, and I bought Louise Hay's book, Heal Your Life, I think it was. And all of a sudden, all of those images started to kind of correlate in my own mind, and I started to realize what the power centers were in the body that I was seeing on a regular basis in all the readings that I'd given. So I think you all are familiar with the concept of quantum physics, how we're all made up of energy, correct? If you're around, type in the chat that you understand what I'm saying, right? We all have nerve plexus in our bodies. We all have an emanation of energy, just like plants or animals. And you've seen the spectrometers, I think it's called spectrometers, that show that level of energy. And when you are quiet and you allow your body to relax and you allow the conscious mind to kind of take a back seat for a moment, and then you give cues to your mind and body about what it might be holding. So in other words, I would speak to each power center. And this is all in the body scan visualization download. But I speak to each individual power center and I ask things like, what colors do you see? Or do you see a shape, a symbol? And believe it or not, even beginners start to see these things. I'm going to go back to my station over here. So when they start to see these things, it means that your soul, in essence, is trying to send you a message. And this is what I really find fascinating, as not so much how we can screw up that message or get it confused, but how eager your body mind, what I call your body mind, this consciousness that lives in your body, how eager it is to communicate with you. So by doing that, by giving it an opportunity to communicate, you're actually actively participating and partnering with your own free will to help you get you where you need to be in life. So I was thinking about the
I was asked to do like a 15-second commercial for a local radio station. And it was something like this. It was like, "Hi, I'm Nicole, your psychic trainer. You want to lose weight? Want to find your soul purpose or your soul mate? It all starts right here with Be a Body Psychic, my webinar. Just text body-mind to 33777 and get your free body scan download." Now, doesn't that sound like a different, like, I don't know, a different language to you? Does it sound like alien words? Because that's what I was recognizing, was the very people I was trying to reach, I was kind of alienating because they didn't know what I was talking about. So now I recognize that I had to put things in a different context. I had to actually say things differently so that people would better understand what I was talking about. That, granted, 15 seconds is not a long time to be able to do that, but the ability to put it concisely is challenging. It's been challenging for a long time. And even though I had that conversation with my son, Randall, like over a year ago, I want to say, and I recognized the problem in that moment, it was still, here it is a year later, it was still in the back of my mind that everyone must know what I'm talking about. So, I just want to say, don't beat yourself up too badly if you're trying to communicate something and it's not coming out the right way, or you're being misunderstood on a regular basis. Because for as much as and my other son is actually a communications major, even after trying to figure this out for the past, I want to say like 7 or 8 years, how to word things so that everyone understands, I am still in this weird position of getting it wrong and then like backtracking and saying, whoa, wait a minute. Right. Not everyone knows what a body scan is. Not everyone knows what a chakra center is. Not everyone understands like disease and distress happens out of the emotion. So I have to take a step back and explain the whole thing. So anyway, that being said, it was just kind of an eye-opening experience. And I wanted to share it with you only because I think, we all have been there, right? Like my son thinking that I would think AMA meant the American Medical Association. I actually thought it was active metabolic assessment because that's what I've been doing for several years. Or the RPE. For me, it was rate of perceived exertion in my industry. In his industry, it's revenue per employee. So even with the best intentions of trying to describe things in short, succinct ways, you could still mess up. So I apologize if I have talked about this stuff over and over again and you're just lost out there. And if you've hung in there and tried to figure it out with me, I appreciate that. And that does make me feel so much better, because that's the whole intention of positive impact on mind and body, is to be able to positively impact your mind and body. And we can't do that if we can't communicate effectively. So I'm hoping that you understand now what I'm talking about when I say chakras and power centers and body scans and things like that, and how we could utilize. That was the other piece of this. Being in the industry I'm in, fitness, wellness, weight loss, healing, psychic ability, all that, it was apparent, blatantly obvious to me that, by doing a body scan, yes, of course you get answers to your life's questions, of course, but no, it's still this Western medical world, and I'm not saying it's a bad world, but we still compartmentalize things. We take the soul out of our bodies. We assume that our minds are functioning separate from what our bodies are doing or what our souls want. But the reality is they're always talking to each other. They're always communicating with each other. And like I said before, when you open that door of communication and you allow your body to inform you and speak with you, you're actually activating a part of your subconscious mind and your soul that can help you attain the goals that you want. So for instance, if you go into the body scan visualization and you breathe and you find like you plop down into your solar plexus. I had one woman say that between the solar plexus and the pelvic area, so right, that's the second and third chakras. she actually found like a snake rolling around in there. And I said, do you ever have like intestinal issues, intestinal blockages, or irritable bowel syndrome? And she said, oh yes, irritable bowel syndrome. So what's interesting about this is the symbology of a snake in that area of the body. Snakes, for the majority of universal symbolism, kind of imply a level of transformation, like you're ready to transform, shed the old skin, move out of that into something new. For a lot of other people, it just implies that there's a negative association with snakes. They're afraid of them. They freak out at them. They don't like them, right? So for this lady, because it was a black snake, she kind of felt like it was just a negative connotation, and it was, you know, kind of settled in her intestines. But when we did the aligning flow visualization, and that happens later in the workshop, in the webinar, also the aligning flow, you start to flow light into different areas of the body that aren't really clear or uplifted or feel powerful and happy. So she was flowing light through the snake, and the snake transformed. It kind of dissolved, but it transformed into this really light, beautiful, synergistic energy that just kind of moved through the rest of her intestines and her bowels. And from that day on, she continued to see every visualization that she did, that aligning flow visualization in the webinar, but also on her own, just kind of like sitting on the train on the way home, visualizing the light moving from her stomach through her intestines, her small intestines, her large intestines, the colon, etc. She said that she had far less pain and suffering from the irritable bowel syndrome than she had ever had. She also found that she chose different foods as a result of that. And it wasn't even like a conscious effort. It was just like, oh, I crave this now instead of this, which would have like sparked off the irritable bowel syndrome. So that in turn, that whole process of healing in that energetic way and choosing the right foods gave her more self-confidence. And the self-confidence gave her a new job that she loved, because she was able to go after it then. So, you know, these are phenomenal results from the different visualizations that we do in the Be a Body Psychic webinar, that I guess, you know, it's hard to explain the outcomes of these things when you're limited in time, you know, you have this assumption that everyone knows where you're coming from, and it's not true. So I apologize. But that being said, I am very, very excited. You know, I have some people that have written beautiful reviews in the past, and like these, Nicole is truly gifted. It was a wonderful experience, which helped me put me in touch with long buried issues in my life. I'm so glad I attended. So that's just like one comment. There are others. Right on to my issues and physical needs. Oh, excellent presentation. You were right on to my issues and physical needs. Your quick analysis and suggested practices were extremely helpful. These are all people who have taken the Be a Body Psychic workshop in person, and that I am offering now as a webinar. I believe that the next 2 nights, Wednesday and Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, I'm going to have a little self-discovery of the Be a Body Psychic process, but you'll also have, if you do download the body scan from the link that I'm going to put here, or you could text body-mind to 33777 and you will get the link. You'll be sent the Zoom invite also if you're interested in attending the free Mind Body Message Zoom call that I'm doing on Wednesday and Thursday night. Excuse me, like the words are right there, but they're not always right there. But this was like another testimonial from the webinar that people have taken in person. I have gotten so much out of these 2 hours. I have a lot to work on. Wish we could meet weekly. You have a gift. I thank you so very much. Would love to take more classes online. So these are just feedbacks and notes from people who have taken Be a Body Psychic and really did enjoy it and wanted to do online things. But honestly, like I didn't have my head wrapped around that until COVID. And then I started looking at, all the offerings that I had more for online purposes. But these are just a few, and it's very heartening. It's very exciting for me to see people get something out of this workshop, because it really does transform certain people. And when you're transforming yourself, when you're raising your own vibration and you're allowing it through this process, you're going to allow your subconscious mind a voice. And in that voice, in that process, you get the opportunity to really hear the yearnings of your own soul and allow your will to stand with your soul in terms of like you're creating your world, your life, your career, your relationships, your money. It's one of those things that I had used, like I said before, with massage therapists and physical therapists and doctors and holistic practitioners, so that they could better communicate with their clients, ironically, right? Communication, it comes up again. But what I realized, like I said, and I wrote an article about this, a blog, it's on my website, and I'll type that in too. When you look at the blog, it explains it in more detail, but it was so exciting to see people come away with this deeper understanding of their personal power, better connection with what their soul desired for them in this lifetime, and their own connection with spirit or source or God. That all came with the body scan. That all came through the other 3 visualizations, the dropping the ball, the aligning flow, and the open-ended meditation that is provided in the workbook, which you get with the webinar. It's a workbook and a CD with 4 lead visualizations, and one of them is the body scan if you want the free version of it so that you can practice it and just experience what it's like. I'll include it here. You could text the words body-mind to 33777. You will get the link to the download, the free download. And it's something that I have done. So I wrote this book, I wrote the workshop in 2001, I wrote the workbook in 2007, and I have continued to use the body scan since that, was that 14 years ago? So, and I am very, very happy now. I mean, and like I said, it's not just the testimonials. I mean, I have, like I think I pointed this out before, I have like a file load of feedback and testimonials that people loved the Be a Body Psychic workshop in person. They're excited about doing more online. And this is the more online piece. If you've never taken Be a Body Psychic, it's not a big deal. We're still going to learn all that stuff plus more, and learn how to utilize it so you can attain your goals for 2021. And I have personally felt that, doing these things have been instrumental in getting me things like, I'm able to write articles in major magazines, and it's gotten me this association with Love Infinity on Positive Impact. It's gotten me a spot on a very popular television show that I'm going to make an announcement on soon. It's also got me a spot in radio and local television. So all the things that I wanted to manifest, I actually used a lot of these visualizations to attain. And it helped me do a couple of things. Like I said, the subconscious blocks that you aren't even aware that you have, they come up. But it's not in a bad way. It's in this non-judgmental way that allows you to acknowledge your personal truth in that process and then decrease the focus on it. So this big thing in the back of your mind, the subconscious mind that's fearful or depressed or angry, shrinks. And then your personal will and your superconscious mind come forward, that thing that links you with all divinity and all possibility. And then that becomes the bigger picture. And this is the second piece of the Be a Body Psychic program that I didn't include in the beginning because I didn't have that experience until like 3 years ago. Now I'm seeing all these transformations, all these great stories, people coming out with better relationships, finding their soul purpose, realizing they didn't have to stay in that dead-end job. They found a new career that they love. and are excited to wake up to every morning. So these are the results that come from the course Be a Body Psychic, and that I can't tell you the fulfilling thing that happens in me when people are successful. Just like, some people get high on drugs and alcohol, and I get high on other people. And I get high on their success. I get high on their love. I get high on their creativity and their joy and their gifts. And that's why I created Be a Body Psychic, not just to help you develop your own intuition, but to help you really access that which is going to fulfill you, mind, body, and soul. Bottom line, that's why I did it. So that being said, you can also read a little bit more about my funny conversation with my son on my website, mindbodymastery.org. And you can go to the blog right away, or you can check out the Be a Body Psychic page and learn more about Be a Body Psychic webinar. Like I said, for the next 2 evenings at 6 o'clock, I'm doing a free kind of mini reading, a self-discovery through the body scan. If you choose to download it and do it, that's the other part. It only takes about 15 minutes to do the body scan. And in that process, I want you to write down the things you experienced in the body scan, and then bring it with you to the Zoom call on Wednesday or Thursday night at 6 o'clock. And I'll help you interpret, or maybe even give you a free mini reading right then and there about things that are going to help you do all the things you want to accomplish in your life, whether it's lose weight, get into a better relationship, a better career, find your soul purpose, whatever it is, your soulmate. You're going to have better cues and clues on how to get there with this information. So I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me on my elliptical in my studio/gym. And feel free to ask any questions. Thanks, you guys. Bye.